Organizations and businesses are adopting ambitious programs to take action in the near future. For example, the Net Zero Carbon Building Commitment calls organizations and cities to take action to reduce all operational carbon emissions within building portfolio by 2030 and advocate for all buildings to be net zero by 2050. Such ESG goals become mandatory for building owners, and the technology companies are aiming to provide valuable database insight on building performance and certification. These insights should be designed to be easily accessible, serving as a solid foundation for decision. Welcome to our Let's Exchange webinar series. I'm Philippe Raffin from Schneider Electric. Today, I'm pleased to welcome David Wittek from ArcSkoru, our technology partner. David, can you please introduce yourself?
Sure. Philippe, it's good to see you again, and thank you for having me here today. As you mentioned, my name is David Wittek. I am the Chief Operating Officer for ArcSkoru. We are a technology platform utilized to track, measure, and benchmark the performance of your building.
Thank you for being with us, David. We are happy to be partnering with Arc, which provides a performance platform to help create better buildings. At Schneider, we are extracting value from data for efficiency and sustainability. EcoStruxure, our open IoT architecture and platform, is a great example of how building can be transformed into a fully digitized, sustainable environment. From your experience, David, what is the role of data in creating green buildings?
Yeah, data is really at the heart of every building optimization strategy, and green buildings is no different. Data, and more importantly, the correct use of that data, is critical to developing green buildings. Green buildings are all about less energy use, less water use, less natural resource depletion, and that takes planning and data analysis. And through this analysis, we could really create win-win situations where we're developing buildings that are putting fewer carbon emissions into the atmosphere, while at the same time, the building owner is experiencing savings through reduced operating expenses. And platforms like Arc and EcoStruxure are really important to this because they help track that performance and they identify efficiencies to find those savings. Buildings of the future are going to use this connectivity and this analytics to eliminate wasted time, wasted resources, and really deliver a better product to our tenants. And the bottom line is if you're not measuring your performance, then you really are never going to have a chance to improve that performance.
Thank you, David. Yeah. In our last webinar, we did present together how digitization can bring tremendous value when scaling lead scoring to building portfolio. David, how does ArcSkoru collaborate and co-innovate with us, with Schneider Electric, on EcoStruxure for this matter? What does it bring to the building industry? And most important, what value does it bring to your customer?
Yeah, our collaboration with Schneider really began with a shared vision of what buildings of the future should look like. They're resilient, they're sustainable, they're people-centric. And with that foundation, we were able to focus on tools to really help our customers meet their goals. Arc tracks energy, emissions, water, waste, transportation, human experience, and indoor air quality. And we've been able to work with Schneider to create products to deliver services and efficiencies for each of these categories. And this led to a first of its kind collaboration where now together Arc and Schneider have delivered a product called Connected Services, and it allows Schneider customers to be on EcoStruxure, but see the benefits of Arc, and that is through a performance score as well as global and local benchmarks.
You just mentioned Arc services, Arc Connected Services, but what is really included in this Arc Connected Services by EcoStruxure, and also what is not included, by the way?
Yeah. It's really exciting operation and collaboration. We couldn't be more happy. What we're now able to do is for Schneider customers that are using EcoStruxure, we can set up their property automatically on the Arc platform. We can send data automatically from Schneider to Arc without any intervention by the customer. So we're really saving time and providing value to that customer. If they want to come on to Arc, we've got Arc Essentials tools for them to use. that come as part of this connected services platform. And that gives you certain value-added tools such as performance score modeling or advanced scoring and benchmarking around building performance standards. We also include performance certificates that have value in a few different ways. One is if you are performing really well in one of those categories, ARC tracks, you can be recognized as a leader in that category with a performance certificate. If you want to seek LEED certification, this could be a good incremental pathway towards achieving LEED certification. And what we're really seeing lately is a lot of people utilizing this and these performance certificates to improve their GRES score. When you get 3 performance certificates or more, you get partial certification credit with GRES. And so that's been a big exciting development for us. In terms of what's not included, I think of it as 3 different types of buckets. One is your work with Schneider, and generally, if you're a Schneider customer, you're already engaging with them on energy efficiency and different things like that. The second bucket would be this connected services, where we're working together and we're flowing that data and we're giving you performance scores, performance certificates, and ARC Essentials. And then the third bucket is certainly optional, but again, if you want to seek LEED certification, the data that you are populating in EcoStruxure is automatically feeding through to ARC, and we automatically feed that through to GBCI in order to help you get LEED certified. But again, that's another bucket and a different service and a different fee structure.
Very clear. In order to enable these connected services, we need obviously to make sure that all data needed is collected in EcoStruxure. Transform the data, then request EcoStruxure service activation and collect the consent by the data owner to share the EcoStruxure data with ARC. This consent stage is a very important one because we need really to make sure that the data owner agree on consent that we will share the data with you as a company. David, any comment to this?
Yeah, I think if you're already an EcoStruxure customer, it's really easy to start using connected services. And as you mentioned, we just need the data to flow from your system to my system, and we just need authorization, whether it's approval sent to you or approval sent to us, that we can share that data.
Maybe let's try to dig a little bit deeper into this subject. David, could you explain how the data, on which data, but how the data is used by ARC on this data coming from EcoStruxure?
Yeah, I think ARC is a really beneficial tool, if I do say so myself, and we try to make it very simple to use. One of the ways we do that is through integrating data, so the user doesn't need to come onto the platform and populate the data. They can flow it directly from EcoStruxure to ARC. The other way we do it is really asking for only the data that we need. We don't want your entire data warehouse to be sent to us. So in order to set up the project, we really need your address, your square footage, your building type, your operating hours, and your gross square area. And then for each of the categories, for energy, we need 12 consecutive months of data. For water, 12 consecutive months of data. Waste just needs 1 waste audit per year, 1 transportation and human experience survey per year, and 1 indoor air quality measurement per year. And you don't have to do all 5 of those at once. If you're only ready to do 1 of those at a time, then just work with us on the 1, but we are able to service all 5. And I guess the last thing to comment is those are minimums in order to generate a score with us. What I'd say is if you want to get the benefit of the EcoStruxure platform, the ARC platform, you really should share that data on much more frequently than just those minimums.
Mm-hmm. And what happened in this case if I miss some data coming from EcoStruxure? No matter how, if there's data missing in EcoStruxure, if there's some issue in the stream coming from EcoStruxure, what happens if you are missing data in order to do your scoring?
Yeah, it's not an issue. We can easily fix that as well. We can, if you want to populate an EcoStruxure or make the change in EcoStruxure, it'll feed through to ARC, or you can work directly with us at ARC and we can get that set up very easily for you.
Okay. We just speak about data coming from EcoStruxure going to Arc. Now, David, the other direction. Can I use information coming from Arc to view those core into EcoStruxure?
Yeah, that's what's really exciting. So our performance score, which we've talked about, is a 0 to 100 score, really simple to understand and know where you are on that continuum. And it allows you to benchmark your building's performance against prior version of itself, other buildings in your portfolio, other buildings in your state or your province, and then buildings from around the world. And while I think the automated data flow and the project setup and the Arc Essentials and the performance certificates are really valuable tools, the ability to show and to see the performance score on the EcoStruxure platform along with the benchmarks is pretty special. I think that's what customers are really going to enjoy, not needing to leave EcoStruxure, but get the benefits of Arc at the same time.
It's a major breakthrough, I agree.
Exciting.
And what is the difference between the Arc connected services and any other Arc reporting methods? Can you deep dive a little bit into that, please?
Yeah. We really are trying to streamline the process with Arc and make it simple for our customers to use. And I think you can do a lot of what we do through connected services outside of it, but you're taking the onus on yourself to do all of that stuff. And so, like I mentioned before, we set up the project, we flow the data, we'll make sure it's consistent, we'll make sure the most recent data is populated. We'll make sure that it's complete and that you're not missing anything. And so it will reduce the number of errors. Some of the Arc tools you would have to purchase outside of the system on your own. And so through connected services, we really streamline that and take all of the work off of you in order to make that work. So.
Okay. This is very clear in this direction. And now let's imagine a specific case. I know very well Arc since many months, many years. I'm already reporting manually my data into Arc. Can I move to a connected services, and what should I do?
Yeah, absolutely. It's if you want to get in and you're using it already, that's great. But we want to make that easy for you, take some of the work off of your plate. And so we can transition you from manual data into the integrated and connected services. And so it probably takes a little bit of intervention by us on the Arc side, but we're happy to do that, and we can do that very easily for you.
Okay, so now we imagine that we are automatically connected to Arc. We did move from manual to always connected. What happens if I want to modify any of the data that is reported automatically? What can I do, and what should I do in case of errors?
Yeah, it's an easy fix. That the data is your data. So if for whatever reason you feel like it's incorrect or something's missing, it's your prerogative to make that change. We simply take your data and we give you a performance score and we give you visualizations around it. So if you feel like a change is needed to your data, there's not a problem. You can work either with EcoStruxure to feed the data through to us, or again, contact us and we'll work with you to get the data updated.
Okay, so in fact, I can fix anything, any issue I would find, I can fix them very easily.
Very easily, yeah.
Very clear. Thank you for this deep dive, David. I think it's time now to move to a short demonstration of the journey, of the end-to-end journey that we can envision to better illustrate the full ArcSkoru solution.
Arc and EcoStruxure platforms. I am starting from Exchange, which is a Schneider Electric collaboration platform where you can typically find joint solution. Arc is registered there as a technology partner in Exchange. But of course, you can also get started from Arc platform directly. Okay, so now I'm logged into Arc, and the way to connect to EcoStruxure data is through this Connected Services tab. You can see EcoStruxure here. So I am presented with the offer details, which is a package of Arc Essentials suite. So I want to get started, and I connect with my EcoStruxure account. I am now asked to confirm that I want to allow Arc platform to access my data, which is a prerequisite. I do want to bring my data to Arc, so I provide my consent for this. So now I can see my site equipped with EcoStruxure that gets listed here. The service still needs to be activated for the selected site, and so if I select the site, the price will update accordingly. All right, so now I'm for the service activation process. So as it is a paid service, I will input my billing details, and I continue. All right, so now I can see that my project was submitted for registration and is going to be registered very shortly. I can then load the invoice for my registration. And here I can see that I need to pay the invoice to sync the data. Once this is confirmed, I can see that the project is going to be processed with my Schneider Electric data. Once it's being processed, the project is added here and will start being filled up with real data from my EcoStruxure system. Okay, so let's give it a bit of time for the data to be processed. My project has been listed in my portfolio of projects here, and the data has finally been uploaded, creating ArcSkoru for the site. I can see this score is fairly average, but I'm doing very well in energy, water, and waste categories, although the transportation and human experience categories are not populated now. Data was not available in the EcoStruxure application, so I can always, at any time, keep updating the data for the relevant section and keep my project up to date, leveraging the connectivity to EcoStruxure and any additional inputs I need to bring.
Can you now let's move to a few examples of such an implementation with real customer. Can you share example of that? Who did start to use and who are the main users of the solution now?
Yeah. Speaking directly for kind of Arc users, we have over 34,000 buildings today, more than 10 billion square feet using the platform. So we've got a lot of success stories that we can talk about. The one I enjoy talking about the most is an organization that's got 1,500 buildings on our platform, and they're located in 100 different countries. And they came to us really seeking a way to consolidate their carbon emissions and ultimately report up to CDP. And they, as you can imagine, with 1,500 locations in 100 countries, there are different calculations, different units of measure, different time frames that people want to enter it. And they had a staff of 4 trying to manage it and really weren't succeeding very well. So they came onto Arc, and immediately we were able to give them a consistent platform for everybody to report on, one unit of measure, one time frame, one calculation. And so it saved them an enormous amount of time and effort. And they've successfully reported to CDP 2 years in a row now. The data has been audited, so we know that the process works. And the best part of the story for me is the person that made the decision to come on to Arc has since been promoted, and they've filled the 4 people with just 1 person. And so they've been able to use those resources in other places and save money for the organization. From a connected services program, we've launched that relatively recently, just within the last few months, but we already have a couple of large real estate companies that are utilizing connected services and seeing the benefits of the streamlining of data from EcoStruxure to Arc. And they came to us really around that benefit with the GRES scoring. And I think that as we make this more public and talk about it more, we're gonna have a lot of uptake very quickly. So I'm excited to see that.
Yeah, this does represent massive portfolio to manage at scale, I guess. We see here the real value of such connected services. Now let's move to a slightly different subject. You are a member of the Schneider Electric Technology Partner program. Can you tell us how you did leverage this program, and how did you leverage more specifically Schneider Electric Exchange for all your projects?
Yeah, being a technology partner with Schneider has been great. We've gotten a ton of benefit out of that over the few years that we've been doing it. Exchange has really helped us to access development resources. We've been able to highlight our tools and our services on the Exchange platform. We've been given access to really smart and motivated people within Schneider who have helped us to develop great products. And I think probably most importantly is our ability to cross-market with Schneider, our products and collaboration products, and that's huge in the marketplace. Being able to co-market with Schneider, it's been really valuable.
Yeah, very clear. Yes, but how do you see the future of our collaboration? In which direction should we expand, and how can we together influence and change the future of building?
Yeah, I'm not sure I know quite yet what is next, but I know we've got plans to speak the next few weeks. I'm really excited about it. With the direction that we're going, the direction that Schneider's going, I expect it's going to be around portfolios and being able to not just build buildings of the future, but portfolios of the future, and see how we get efficiencies across entire portfolios. So, bigger impact, more tools, more excitement is what's coming.
Wishing us all this, David. Thank you very much for this insightful discussion.
Thank you. Yeah.
And for the demonstration of the ARC energy scoring solution in use. If you're interested in digital solutions that enable access to the building data for greater visibility, transparency, and even sustainability certification, we invite you to explore Schneider Electric Exchange on the ArcSkoru offer listed in our digital marketplace. If you are a software developer, we also invite you to discover our Exchange portal with dedicated development resources for EcoStruxure. We hope to see you soon on Schneider Electric Exchange. Thank you.